Hey there, I'm Lee Whittier, Dog Show Mentor. Welcome and welcome to our Facebook Live. It is already August the 3rd. Can't believe it. So, who's here today? I know somebody must be here. And so, what we're going to talk about today is grit. Now, grit is, we keep it under the core values at Dog Show Mentor, but it really isn't a core value, is it? It's really a mindset. And my theory is that we can't show dogs without grit. Here's Melinda. Hi, Melinda from North Carolina. What is your breed? Hey, Joni. Nice to see you. Denise. Wonderful. Hi, Marie. Excellent. Linda, welcome. Chinese crested. All right. So it's we're gonna have some fun today. Hey, Tracy. Nice to see you. Kaylee, hi. Melinda, Cavaliers, that's right. Mary from Roseville, California. And Cindy, welcome. Spanish Water Dogs. Yeah, they've got that unique coat, don't they? That unique coat. And Heather, welcome from Canada. And Denmark, Estasio, Denmark, Calgary, Calgary, Canada. Okay. Got it. Moses Lake, Nora from Texas, and Sherry from Tennessee. All right. And Melinda's saying hi to Joni. Yes. By all means, say hello to each other. From Manhattan, Kansas. Jewel. Pretty name, Jewel. Okay. So let's wrap our minds around the word grit and what it means to you. So that's what I'd like to start out with. What does grit mean to you? I've heard some people say grit, that's like you eat some vegetables with dirt on it and get grit between your teeth. No, that's not what we mean. Dana from Tennessee, nice. Goldens, Shelties, Cockers. And Joni is responding to Melinda. That's what we do at Dog Show Mentor is we create community. And you get as much community as you want. If it's enough for you, it's enough for you to just post one time. If you like to post 10 times an hour, that's just fine also. Nora says that grit means determination. I like that. I like that a lot. Have you ever wondered why some handlers are more successful and others are not? Perseverance, right, Mary? Right, grit means perseverance. And Denmark says combination of determination and passion. Hey, Debbie. Debbie from Oregon with Mastiffs. And Jeannie's here. Hi, Jeannie with Irish Wolfhounds. Hope you have a nice big property in Iowa. Grit means tough-skinned. Yeah, you cannot be thin-skinned in this game, can you? And Cindy says, for me, it's continuing to return to the ring despite everything. Amen. Amen to that. Hi, Sandy. Grit is like the young girl in True Grit who was determined. Wasn't her name Trudy? And didn't she stand up to John Wayne? I'm so glad you remember that. I'm so glad you remember that. That was a great, I think it was a TV show, actually. Or maybe it was a movie. I can't remember. Learn and move on, Tracy says. Sandy, relentless optimism. Amen. Jim says, grit is resilience. I love all these answers. So I believe that the successful handlers don't just have luck or talent. They have grit. And it means that we keep on a focused path, right? In spite of the bumps in the road. Sometimes there are bigger bumps than others. So what kind of bumps have you had? Mental toughness, Matt? Amen. Yes, absolutely. Linda says the movie. Oh, it's a movie. Okay. And Megan, welcome, Megan, means I stay with it, regroup, and focus. Absolutely. right? So what if you have a losing streak that lasts days or months? What if you have a delay? What if your dog gets hurt and you have to rehab him? There are a lot of things that can happen that become bumps in the road. What if you personally have an injury of some kind? What if you have you know, something going on in your head? What if you have to work? What if your work is so demanding that you can't get to shows and you have to go back? When I was told by several that my dog would never finish, oh yeah, that happens to a lot of people. And I think, Melinda, when you read my article for the August Show Site magazine, I think you'll see I address this a little bit about dogs and the quality of dogs, and a little bit about what we talked about last week about the quality of your dog and how it affects your win rate. So people can be mean. They can not see what's in front of them. So I'm glad that you persevered. Right. Okay. So it means staying focused, right? And letting everything behind the mirrors just stay behind the mirrors. Denmark says, my goal never changed. It's just how I'm able to reach them. Bumps may happen, but I will still continue. Good job. Great job. Right. Thank you. And we have Alex in the background helping me with all the production that goes on here so that you all can have a better experience than me just standing up and walking around somewhere with my camera on my phone camera. Denise says, that's my problem. Work is keeping me from enjoying my hobby of showing dogs. It can happen. So Denise, how do you handle that? I'd like to hear. And Bridget says, being able to walk up to a terrier group ring, look out, and without even seeing what a dog is on the lead, I can pick the 6 handlers that will make the cut. I just ignore and focus owner handled series. So Bridget, what if you put yourself in that 6 handlers to make the cut? Right? What if you did that? Time after time, walk up to the group ring and see yourself in those 6 handlers. It's not always the handlers, but sometimes the handlers bring it. Sometimes they just bring it. It is. They not only have luck and talent, but they have all day long to work those coats and to train those dogs. All day, that's what they do. And you may have to go to work. You may have kids. You may have grandkids. There's lots that get in the way of us and our goals. But at Dog Show Mentor, I was really proud this morning when I saw a post that someone had not only reached but exceeded her goals and produced a new grand champion. And it was a fantastic win. I'm so proud to see that she won enough days to make 17 points. All right. Okay. Let's see. Denise, that's my problem. My work, yes. And Sandy, toward the end of the owner handled year, I severely broke an ankle just before a 5-day circuit. We were thus unable to make it to Royal Canin, even though invited. So I've had a few setbacks. Yeah, I bet. The politics won't let me in my area. Ooh. I always say that I am an accountant and I can do their tax returns better than they can do their own, and they can groom and show better than me. Well, it's true. I mean, I go to a lawyer, I go to a doctor. Yeah, we hire people who do what we can't better. But there are ways to hire people, right? To do some work that you might need done. But I'm getting off the topic of grit. And so, what I would like to know is what was your biggest setback and how did you overcome it? What was your biggest setback and how did you overcome it? Limiting beliefs will defeat you 10 times more than politics. Yes, Matt, you and I should talk. Backup. Yeah. Yep. 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 Got it. Yep. Yep. All right. Tiffany, all three you mentioned. All right. So, for the record, Tiffany, be specific because people are going to come back later and read this and they need something to relate that comment to. So, Megan, biggest setback, my bitch started backing up when the judge approached and was examining her. And how did you overcome that, Megan? Had a dog injury. Yep. Tiffany. And how did you overcome it? You had ankle surgery. You had ankle surgery or your dog had ankle surgery? Okay. Bridget says, bad hip and my love of Shonley finally got me to have surgery. Okay, good. And presumably now you're showing and out there. I stepped back and took the pressure off her and myself. You must have had a good mentor. Tiffany, rehab the dog, excess 6K, put in the work, a lot of work. Yeah, good for you. So if we go back to what you all first were talking about and all the words that you used initially, things like determination, right? Determination, perseverance, determination and passion, tough-skinned, return to the ring despite everything, learn and move on, relentless optimism. That might be my favorite. It doesn't mean that you don't know what's going on. It means that you make a choice to choose. You choose optimism. And you don't let the rest of it get in the way, right? Like Megan said, stay with it, regroup, and focus, right? All right. So Tiffany says she brought the dog back out and then retired him. The dog had everything a Malinois should be, so I was driven to match his play and let him compete. Well done. Well done, all of you. And Julie Elizabeth said, I had a setter that didn't like his head being held, so I had to learn to free bait and not stand out when everyone else is stacking their setters the traditional way. I like that. Yeah. I like this, where she says, I had to learn to free bait and not stand out when everyone else is stacking the dog in the traditional way. You did what you had to do to help your dog, to support your dog's experience in the ring. And you knew that you couldn't do it the traditional way, so you found another way to do it. And that's amazing, and it's gritty. You showed grit there. Sandy says she let one judge's opinion severely shake her belief in her dog. She talked it through with others and got an actual grip on her thinking. Changed what I need to do with the dog training and conditioning. Right. And it's one judge's opinion. just because I didn't like your dog on a specific day. And I have a story to tell you about a gritty dog show mentor person. She had a dog, and the judge didn't like the dog on day one. But on day 1.1, she hopped to getting that dog in great coat. It was a terrier, hard-coated terrier. Great coat, great condition of that coat. And overnight, the judge awarded it in the group. So just because your dog, that's grit. That's grit. You didn't like my dog today. I'm going to make sure that you find him tomorrow. Don't think just because somebody got a group 1 yesterday that they're going to get a group 1 today. I'm really excited about how the people who come to these Facebook Lives think. Gretchen says, hey, Gretchen, sometimes you have to realign your goals. I've always been an owner handler, but I did hire a local to finish my first bred champion. Congratulations. Yep. And Bridget says, my motto has always been any dog, any day. That's right. It could be, although I'd like to change that a little bit and say, my dog every day. Because if you have that mindset, my dog every day, then you've got it made. You're always open to winning every time, every day. Not that you're going to, but you could. Why not? All right. And then I hear Doreen. Hey, Doreen, I'm just starting out and learning. There's a lot to be successful. I am in it for the long run. I wrote an article for Showsight Magazine about a year ago that talked about being in it for the long run. Go back and read that. And yeah, sometimes, Tiffany, we have to hire somebody. I myself hire handlers because I have one, but I'm judging. I don't have time to get out there all the time. And Jeannie says, after 2019 show, my young boy, whoops. Oh, he came down with kennel cough. Oh, I am so sorry. Very sad story. Very sad. But you're still back. You're back. All right. Nora says, handling classes put the dog and I on the right track. Breeder giving great advice. I'm so happy about that. Handling classes are a great start to a dog's career if they're done well. And Dog Show Mentor, definitely we at Dog Show Mentor all go to handling classes. And I recommend handling classes. I have a master list for people around the country who are teaching. And Leo says, oh, Leo has a book here. I'm working on overcoming a lot from actually having a successful dog. He was in the top 5 for over a year. People were less than kind. Well, you were beating them. And sometimes people aren't kind, but kindness is one of our core values at Dog Show Mentor. We realigned them last year. So if you have a question about that. And while I believe we have the respect of my peers on a national level, I feel like I'm on the fringe with my local people. Yes, that does happen. So yes, it is a lot of work. And I'm glad that you're reminding yourself why you show dogs, because we're in it to win it. We're in it for the long run. And we're in it to have relationships with people. But we are gritty. And it doesn't mean that because we're gritty that we're kind, we can't be gritty. They're not mutually exclusive. Hey, Doreen. I can't tell you how much this inspires me right now. Oh, good. I want to read that. Hold on. Even though I have great success in the past, my dog's not doing as well as I believe he should. I was getting discouraged, but this inspires me to tough it out. Tough it out. Figure out what you need to do to change. whatever you're doing, that's the difference between people who have grit is they make slight changes to their approach, right? They're consistent in the time they spend on their projects and the outcome, but they identify the changes that need to be made. And that's what we do at Dog Show Mentor. I mean, think about Serena Williams. I don't know if you all saw that. I mean, we've always known how successful she was, but when I saw that movie, I didn't realize how big of a leap she had to make and how hard she had to work. I knew she was always a hard worker, and I've been talking about her for years, but I got some insights into her story. And thank you, Alex, for posting my article on Showsite Magazine, showing for the long term. All right, we are just about out of time. Bridget says, when I had hip surgery, couldn't show for quite a while, had my wife show, and I watched. She took an owner-handled Besson show, and she still doesn't like to show, but it was wonderful to watch. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, yeah, Mary, undocked. But by the opposition they have overcome to reach their goals. Yes. Well, yes. And the tide is changing on the whole tail issue in a lot of places and a lot of breeds. So hang in there. So I want you to notice the links in the chat are for Dog Show Mentor Mastery application for 2023. There's also one for Premium and also one for Jumpstart, our newest program, and it is a great one. And love the people who have joined us. They are gritty for sure. Anyone who comes to Jumpstart is gritty. So there's the Mastery application. Doreen says, I've been looking at the breed standard and trying to evaluate my dog's positive and false. You know, Doreen, if you need help with that, that's what we do in Jumpstart. One of the things that we do is really deep dive into our own dogs and our competition. So I could help you with that. Bridget says, my young bitch has to be handled differently when I am setting her on the table for exam. I figured it out and do it that way. Exactly. So it's identifying where your challenge is and setting a path on how to overcome the bumps and the curves, and then taking the action on those steps. It's creating an action plan. We're big on action plans, Dog Show Mentor. Michael says, sign up. So many people find it helpful. Amen. Yes, exactly. All right. There are a couple more links here. Good. Okay. So we are just about out of time. Is there something else that you would like to talk about? About 3 more minutes. Cutterbass doing the cha-cha on the table. I know they could do that. They can definitely do that. So there's evidence, there's scientific evidence that success has more to do with perseverance and grit than anything else. So are you of the personality that you always had grit? Were you born that way, or did you develop it? Oh yeah, don't forget to join our Facebook group, the Dog Show Mentor Owner Handlers Facebook group. Please join us. We have some lively discussions in there. So what about you? Were you born that way, or did you have to develop it? And how did you develop it? Julie, hey, Julie. Julie from Arizona, tweaking my grooming and preparing for my national October. Gritty. Oh, I can't wait to see your boy. Yep, good for you. I'm excited about that. All right. So nobody is going to tell me, Doreen says, I was born with grit. I never give up. All right. I love to hear that. I was born with some grit because that's who I was. And yeah, yeah, Julia, you're coming out to Montgomery County. We want to know. And I want to tell you that I'm very excited that we're going to have Bruce Schwartz come on and talk to us the week before Montgomery County. So that's it's in about 6 weeks, but put it on your calendars. And we'll be announcing that closer to the time. But of course, he is president of Montgomery County Kennel Club. And we're excited to have him on the Facebook Live the week before. Nora says she definitely had to develop. Good for you. Yes, good. And Megan, I've developed it. Born with some, third of 4 kids. Well, I was the youngest, but I was a little rebellious. Remember those when we used to call rebellious girls? That was me. Yep. So I did have some grit even as a young girl. Yes, Welsh Terrier Club of America, and I'm Treasure. He's a great guy. Yes, he is a great guy. All right. So I think we've. If anyone has anything else to say it now. Otherwise, we are going to say. Join us in the Owner Handled Facebook group. It's free. Join us on Facebook Lives. They're free. We have nothing to sell if you're not buying, but please feel free to come and join us at Dog Show Mentor. We are a great group and we'd love to have you. So this is Lee Whittier, the Dog Show Mentor, signing off. Bye, everybody.